Views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Surprising information coming out of the Ministry of Health's Global School Health Report. 1 in 5 teens have attempted suicide. Alcohol use among teens at crisis levels. And more teens engaging in unprotected sex. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, July 4th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Also this morning, we'll be talking with Shell about their Catch the Thrill and Win contest. It's going on now. We'll give you all the details on what you need to do to win. And later, it's our monthly Disability Awareness Series. Today, we are talking about the wrapping up today, Kids with Diabetes Summer Camp. And diabetes and pediatric diabetes, we'll be getting into that this morning as well. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, among a list of alarming trends among teens revealed in the Ministry of Health's Global School Health Report 2025, the most concerning, perhaps, revelation was that the 1 in 5 Bahamian students between the ages of 13 and 18 have attempted suicide, and 1 in 4 teens have contemplated suicide. The results of the survey of 2,213 students in 35 public and private schools across 8 islands, including New Providence, Grand Bahama, Abaco, Andros, Berry Islands, Eleuthera, Exuma, and Inagua, announced yesterday during a press conference at the Office of the Prime Minister. Dr. Charita Moxie from the Ministry of Health's Policy Unit said the data should stop Bahamians in their tracks, and she's warning that the health and well-being of teens has worsened dramatically, saying, quote, as a whole, the findings present a stark and sobering truth. Our teens are facing more complex, more dangerous, and more emotionally burdensome realities than any generation before them. She She said the reality is that far too many of our young people are struggling in silence, feeling unseen, unheard, and unsupported. Other findings. Alcohol use at crisis levels, we're told. Dr. Moxie is saying the proportion of teens who have ever consumed alcohol, excluding for religious use, has more than doubled from 32% to 74% concurrently. She said also that new figures show that 28% of teens reported having sex compared to 41% in 1998. Of those teens who were sexually active, though, 57% said they began having sex by the age of 13 compared to 70% in 1998. The study also found that 15% of sexually active teens reported having more than one lifetime sexual partner compared to 55% in 1998. Dr. Moxie saying the figures were surprising given narratives of today's teens as hypersexual, and said more research needs to be done to determine the reason for the positive trend. However, just 48% of sexually active teens said they used a condom the last time they had intercourse. That's down substantially from 73% in 1998. Moxie says it could be connected to an uptick in sexually transmitted infections in the country. In other news, police are investigating a murder and suspected attempted suicide after a woman from South Africa was found dead on a vessel off Harbor Island. A Mexican man was discovered with severe injuries to his arms as well. Police say that according to reports, shortly after 1 p.m., they were alerted to the incident, proceeded to the marina area. Once on a vessel there, they discovered the woman unresponsive with visible signs of injuries and a man suffering from severe injuries to his arms. The local doctor visited the scene and pronounced the woman dead. Police say they are investigating, but they also found that the victim was missing for a short period before being found unresponsive in the engine room. The suspect, a 40-year-old Mexican man, was apprehended, cautioned, and taken to a nearby clinic for medical treatment. A man convicted of molesting a boy he once babysat has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. 28-year-old Basil McDonald did not show any emotion as Justice Wilhelmina Archer-Mins delivered her sentencing decision. He will serve a 5-year sentence for indecent assault at the same time. In handing down her judgment, Archer-Mins said the court owes it to women and children in the Bahamas to protect them from all forms of violence, especially sexual violence, saying, quote, "This particularly so, given that violence against women and children has exponentially increased, not only in the Bahamas, but the wider Caribbean." McDonald betrayed the trust of the victim's mother and older brother, who had welcomed him and later his mother into their New Providence home in 2019 during the COVID pandemic. McDonald repaid their kindness by preying on their 7-year-old son, who regarded him as a brother and friend. The abuse continued until the boy was 9 years old, when the mother put McDonald out. Sometime in 2020, the boy's mother returned home unexpectedly and met McDonald hugging her son as they sat in bed. She felt uneasy about the situation, and when questioned her son, he became withdrawn. You can read more about it in today's Nassau Guardian. And the case against murder-accused Leonard Simonet formally came to an end yesterday after prosecutors presented a death certificate. Simonet and another man were accused of the December 23, 2020 murder of Bradley Strawn Jr., who was fatally shot on Rupert Dean Lane. Tragically, Simonet was killed while on bail awaiting trial for the crime. On April 11th at around 4 a.m., Simonet was asleep in his car that was parked in front of his family's home on Peter Street when gunmen riddled the vehicle with bullets. And PLP leader Fred Mitchell says that the candidates committee plans to meet as early as this month to begin discussing the party's candidates for the upcoming election. Nearly a week ago, the FNM unveiled 17 of its candidates. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Philip Davis said the PLP will unveil its candidates in due course. Mitchell says everyone's nomination papers have been handed in. However, South Abaco MP John Pinder, is still undecided. Some PLP MPs have already announced they do not intend to run again, including Fort Charlotte MP Alfred Sears, Michael Representative Basil McDonald, and North Luther MP Sylvanus Petty, who's Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly. Overseas, waves of drone and missile attacks targeted Kyiv overnight and into the morning, the largest aerial assault since Russia's invasion on Ukraine began more than 3 years ago. This amid a renewed Russian push to capture more of its neighbors' land. The barrage included at least 23 people, or injured 23 people, and inflicted severe damage across multiple districts in a 7-hour onslaught on the capital. Blasts lit up the night sky and echoed across the city as air raid sirens wailed. The blue lights reflected off high-rise buildings, and debris blocked city streets. Russia has been stepping up its long-range attacks on Ukrainian cities. Less than a week ago, Russia launched what was then the largest aerial assault on the war. That strategy has coincided with a concerted effort to break through parts of the roughly 620-mile front line where Ukrainian troops are under severe pressure. Russia launched 550 drones and missiles across Ukraine during the night. According to the country's Air Force, the majority were Shahed drones, but Russia also launched 11 missiles in the attack. Israeli airstrikes killed 15 Palestinians in Gaza early today, while a hospital said another 20 people died in shootings while waiting for aid. Meanwhile, the UN Human Rights Office says it's recorded 613 killings in Gaza near humanitarian convoys as Palestinians try to reach aid at distribution points run by an Israeli-backed American organization since it first began operations in late May. A spokeswoman for the group said the Rights Office was not able to attribute responsibility for the killings, but said it was clear that the Israeli military had shelled and shot at Palestinians trying to reach the distribution points operated by Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. In a message to the Associated Press, she said that of the total killed or tallied, 509 killings were GHF related, Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, meaning at or near its distribution sites. And about 40% of flights canceled today at all Paris airports, and tens of thousands of passengers are rearranging plans at the height of the summer travel season because of a strike by French air traffic controllers seeking better working conditions. Disruptions started hitting airports around France on Thursday and intensified today. The National Civil Aviation Authority asked airlines to cancel 40% of flights at Charles de Gaulle, Orly, and Beauvais airports serving Paris, of half of flights in Nice, and 30% of flights in Marseille, Lyon, and some other cities as well. Despite the preventative cancellations, the authority warned in a statement that disruptions and long delays are to be expected at all French airports. And it's time for your look at sports, brought to you by Kalik. Damian basketball standout, and now Philadelphia 76ers draftee Valdez VJ Edgecombe Jr. is now a millionaire. Edgecombe got a taste of what it's like to be paid as a professional athlete when he cashed in on NIL, name, image, and likeness deals in his only season of college basketball. Edgecombe signed a 4-year, $50,438,207 contract with the Sixers on Tuesday, including $22,772,760 guaranteed, and an average annual salary of $12,609,552. In 2025-2026, Edgecombe will earn a base salary of $11,108,880, carrying a cap hit of the same amount. Edgecombe also linked a multi-year endorsement deal with athletic giant Adidas and is now looked at as one of the future faces of Adidas basketball. He joins NBA stars James Harden, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, and Anthony Edwards, who are all Adidas athletes. Edgecombe, the third overall selection in the 2025 NBA draft, has tremendous upside. There are talks that he could start right away along all-star guard Tyrese Maxey in the Sixers' backcourt, but that will be determined through the NBA 2K's Summer League 2025 and Sixers training camp. Read more about this in today's Guardian Sports section. Wow. And the Bahamas Aquatics Federation has named a 4-member team to represent the country at the 2025 World Aquatics Championships, slated for July 11th through August 3rd in Singapore. Representing the team will be Bahamian Olympian Lamar Taylor, Zaylee Elizabeth Thompson, Victoria Russell, and Mark Anthony Thompson. President of the Federation, Algernon Cargill, had nothing but praise for the contingent heading to Singapore. Read about that again in today's Guardian Sports section. At Sports, brought to you by Kalik. Pop the Top is back and bigger than ever. Kalik, the beer of the Bahamas, giving away up to $200,000 in cash and prizes. Purchase your favorite Kalik beer and look under the cap and you could be a winner. Free Kalik beer, free merch, or cold hard cash could be yours just for drinking Kalik. Kalik reminds you to drink responsibly. Got your first look at weather for today, brought to you by Star General. We've got a severe weather watch in effect for the northern and northwest Bahamas. An abundance of tropical moisture along with a low-level system north of the islands and a mid-level trough over the central Bahamas. This is all generating the weather that we're seeing right now in New Providence and other parts of this region of the country. A strong high-pressure system is maintaining a gentle to moderate breeze, gusting towards thunderstorms. So the unsettled weather will continue across the area through the remainder of the weekend. A gradual improvement in the normal summer pattern of showers and afternoon thunderstorms will be seen again by midweek. And a low-pressure system will drift into the North Atlantic, stretching a surface trough to the northern islands, enhancing shower activity across that area through the end of next week. So, although that system north of the islands will not directly impact the Bahamas, strong to gale force winds may potentially be experienced across Grand Bahama, Bimini, and Abaco, with periods of excessive rainfall and bouts of severe weather Friday and into the weekend. So, flooding is possible in low-lying and flood-prone areas this weekend, and as both systems are impacting the country. So for today, for the northern and northwest islands, we're looking at cloudy to overcast conditions, of 40 to 60% chance of scattered showers and widely scattered thunderstorms, wind southeast to south at 10 knots or less, gusting at times. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy, a 20 to 30% chance of showers with thunderstorms. Winds east-southeast to south-southeast at 10 to 15 knots for the central islands, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts for the southeastern islands. Temperatures today, look for highs around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. When it's not raining, we're still going to have to deal with that heat index, which will make it feel muggy like it's 100 Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79, 80 Fahrenheit, about 26 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. Choose technology. Our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth you want.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, it's until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world.
Ready to catch the thrill and win with Shell. Fuel up with $20 or more and unlock your shot at unforgettable prizes.
We're talking regatta to Harbor Island,
Free fuel, grocery vouchers, water park passes, and more. Just snap your receipt and WhatsApp it to us at 242-422-0271. The vibes are high, the prizes are hot, and the summer is yours to win with Shell. Only at participating Shell stations in Nassau. Now through August 22nd. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Join us at Kalina's Customer Appreciation Day, Saturday, July 5th at 308 East Bay Street. Get free health screenings, attend educational sessions, and sign up for the portal. Enjoy tasty bowls from Tropical Gyros, tacos from Taqueria, refreshing drinks, and fun for the kids in our Kids Corner with face painting, games, and bouncing castles. There will be prizes and giveaways. You may win a phone, laptop, or a TV. It's all happening Saturday, July 5th at 308 East Bay Street. Come join the fun and let us help you thrive.
Abaco, get ready for the summer's official rum and beer link-off. Royalty Sounds present Found Fast. Found Fast. Saturday, July 5th, Morris Harbor, Abaco at the Royal Recreational Ground. Gates open 5 p.m., $20 entry. Ladies free before 8 p.m. with Nassau and Abaco's hottest DJ. Don't miss the beer drinkers versus rum drinkers competition.
Right, pulling for the best side,
Damn rum for me. Found Fast, July 5th, Abaco. Sponsored by Collect, the Bear of the Bahamas. Drink responsibly.
Shell, you home? My gas just gone out. Let me know small barbecue tank you have. I tell you, long time. Go get a barbecue tank from They just got a new shipment of tanks of all sizes. Now you know they always have the best prices. Tell them you heard it on 106.5 FM, and they will give you $5 off. Caribbean Gas, 361-6007 or 552-9597. You want to use my phone? Here, call them now.
Living paycheck to paycheck, at Fidelity, we can help you take control of your money, build savings, and create a financial future you're proud of. And we'll do it free of charge. Transform your financial future with our coaching sessions today. Make that move. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Screws and Fastener World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
In these very difficult times when crime is on the increase, money on imitation security, get the best at Wemco Security, the company you keep. Don't delay. Call today or visit their office at 32 Collins Avenue across from Columbus Primary School.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way?
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Got a lot to get to on this Friday morning. By the way, happy 4th of July to our American friends, and happy Independence Day to you all. Today, we're going to be talking with Shell about their Catch the Thrill and Win promotion. It's going on now, wrapping up next month. You still have time to get in there to win. They'll tell us all about it this morning. And then it's our monthly disability awareness series. We're going to be talking about kids with diabetes and the Kids with Diabetes Summer Camp, which is going on right now, winding down today, actually. But we are going to talk with them live from the camp, I'm told, this morning. So that's all ahead. But right now, we've got a whole lot to talk about in the news. In the news, just some real coming out of the Ministry of Health's Global School Health Report 2025. Some are going to be surprised at the numbers of 1 in 5 teens claiming they've attempted suicide, 1 in 4 saying they've considered it. The numbers on obesity and alcohol and drug use. While apparently the teens in the survey, well, fewer of them reported they were engaging in sex. More were engaging in unprotected sex. We're going to get into all of that this morning. So much to talk about there, and we need to dive deeper in this, which we will, especially next week. We're going to get to that in just a bit. But you do remember this story, right? The tourist in the Exumas who was hit by a boat, and we heard the story of the people who had to try to rescue him, and they couldn't get an ambulance, and they had to put him on a beach chair on the back of a pickup to get him to the clinic, to get him out there, to get the help that he needed. So the family, the Americans involved in this are speaking. They're speaking with CBS News and You need to hear this. This is really quite something. Take a listen to this report that aired, I believe, yesterday on CBS News.
Talk about that dream summer vacation in paradise this week. It has now turned into a nightmare for a Prosper family.
A 42-year-old husband and father is in intensive care in a Miami hospital after a crime in the Bahamas that almost cost him his life. Here's our JD Miles with the story you'll only see here.
We look forward to this vacation all year.
After a flight from DFW that arrived in the Bahamas on Monday, the family couldn't wait to pose for a photo on the beach before a 10-day vacation in Exuma. But just minutes later on that first day of the trip, something would happen in the water behind them that would change their lives forever.
Like maybe a 20-minute snorkel, just like right there on the beach right before we ate.
Whitney Slough says her husband Brent and their 2 daughters were snorkeling only 20 feet from the beach when a small boat appeared along the shoreline.
I saw this boat speeding so close to shore, and I raised my hands like, what the hell?
And then I felt like a thump, thump. And I was like, did I just get hit by a boat?
Brent, a 42-year-old former Army Ranger, almost had the lower half of his body sliced off by the propeller blade as it plowed over him.
His bottom was pretty much almost completely detached from his legs.
And my left leg wasn't functioning, and I felt something was wrong with my lower body.
The trauma amplified when the couple's teenage daughter had to rescue her father with a float. Meanwhile, the boat, captured on this security camera, kept going.
And so then I surface, and I look to my right, and I see 2 guys in a boat, and one of them looks back, and then they just keep on going.
What followed was a harrowing trip in the back of a truck to an ambulance jet that would take Slough to a hospital in the U.S.
And the doctor on the beach told me, please get to a hospital in Miami, like you need to get to the U.S. and for something this traumatic.
The injuries include multiple leg fractures and deep gashes that doctors say could still be life-threatening if they become infected. But the couple knows it could be worse.
This was God getting us through this, 100%.
With their daughter still in the Bahamas, their mother is also heading back and on a mission.
How determined are you to find these men on this boat?
Oh, they're going to be found. Like I'm flying back there today.
Whitney worries that authorities won't find the boat responsible without her persistence.
As it's against the law to be 200 feet from the shore. So, I mean, Brent was about 20 feet out. I mean, I just wish they would turn themselves in. But if they don't turn themselves in, then we have to find them.
A family vacation that should be carefree, but instead turned into horror for a Prosper family that will eventually need help arranging an expensive private ambulance flight from Miami to Dallas. The family has friends collecting donations for their expenses. If there's one thing the Sloughs say others can learn from their experience, it's how much they wish they had had travel medical insurance for a trip out of the country. We contacted authorities in the Bahamas about the investigation, but have not been able to reach anyone familiar with the case. JD Miles, CBS News, Texas.
Okay, so yes, that aired on a Texas affiliate in with the CBS News Network. Okay, that is really something there, and we hadn't heard much since the incident. Hadn't heard anything about the victim. There are pictures along with that report, and it's not pretty. And he really came very close to losing his life. All right, so let's get your reaction to it. You heard the wife said she's coming back. The daughters are still here, and she wants authorities to find this boat. She's pleading for the boat folks to turn themselves in. You know how likely that is to happen. But CBS News saying they couldn't get anybody familiar with the case. Sounds like the reaction we get most times when we try to find out information. But let's talk about this. This is really very unfortunate to people. We all complain about this. On beach days, the jet skis, the boats come too close. Too close. There are rules, but people are violating them all the time. We see it every day, every weekend. This is an accident waiting to happen. And yet it continues. What are we going to do? What should they do? What is happening? 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. Listen, Dwight, I know you've heard me call a couple of times. Monarchy is a prime example. Every day, every single day, jet skis come right up on the shore where the swimmers are over the buoy, every single day. And I said before, they're not going to put a stop to this until something drastically happens.
Yeah.
All right? And because, I said the jet skiers should be under the same scrutiny as a car on the road. Okay? If you break the law, either they can fine you or they can confiscate your jet skis until the fine is paid. It got to be serious implication.
Absolutely.
You're paying a sum until somebody is killed. That's a prime example. Every day in Monarchy, we see that.
Yeah.
And then another thing I see with the alcohol, right? From they open a bar in the front of UB, we were complaining, that there are too much bars. There are too much bars coming into the Bahamas, There's no zoning. The bars pop up everywhere, especially in the urban areas. So we need to take this thing serious.
Okay. All right. I was trying to picture where this bar. Oh, you mean Poinciana Drive side? Yeah, there's, isn't it? Yeah. There's plenty. I mean, there's liquor stores, quite a few, on the Poinciana Drive side, and not far up Nassau Street, but all over, by many schools, preschools even. Yes. We'll get to that in a second. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi. Good morning.
We have officials who are trying to stop the press from reporting these incidents instead of looking at safety protocols and enforcing the law.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. And what we have here now, I mean, you know the 14-year-old boy missing, history of Taylor Casey, you know that lady, I think she's about 41 years old from Chicago. And you have this brewing tide now of Americans pushing for results. And I think we need to really, really, really address this, because what we have, Dwight, is we have persons who are giving permission to drive even self-drive vehicles by persons who have license to rent them out, and they're renting them out to their friends who don't even have licenses. Okay? And this is going to come back and haunt our tourist industry, because officials are blaming the press for publishing the news instead of addressing the situation. Do you agree with me, Dwight, on this one?
I'm with you. I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Now, how are we going to fix this?
That's what I'm asking today.
I have some ideas, but I'll
give me your top one.
Huh?
Give me the top one.
The minute you find someone who's driving a public service vehicle and they don't have a driver's license, even the bus drivers, if you were to go on number 15, you got bus drivers who are driving and they don't have a license to drive.
You know this for a fact?
So when you find them, you don't allow them to ever drive a public service vehicle again, or a rental vehicle. That's how you approach that.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Speaking of rentals, I don't know if this person was a tourist or drunk, or both, but this was terrifying on East Bay Street Thursday night. You head east on East Bay Street. That car is heading west, and everyone's blowing their horn at them. I don't think they know what we were blowing our horns at, but it's scary. It's scary, and I remember I've seen that before around Montague, around that bend. Can you imagine coming around that bend and then a car is coming up heading westbound? As you come around that bend, you can't see them until they're inside your car. Very, very scary. But we don't do a good job with signage for a tourist town. Nassau is woefully, oh man, it's terrible. It's terrible. And, but that's a different story. Good morning, caller, you're on the air. Are you there? Oh, hi, good morning.
Stop doing
You're breaking up. Let's take this one. Good morning, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
One of my solutions for everything is with those jet skis, they perhaps need a call-up system. The same way the taxis have a call-up system, they need a call-up system. because every day you see them, what we would call skylarking on the sea with people's lives. And another thing, those little four-wheelers, order needs to come to that as well.
You mean on the streets? Yeah.
Yes, on the street.
Well, I say
Four-wheelers.
get them off the streets. They shouldn't be in the downtown area. They shouldn't be anywhere near there. Keep them in fields where they should be. They're off-roaders.
And you have many of the visitors who are using them, and they are playing around on them, and then something happens, they blame the Bahamian government. When it's them who are...
To the news stations, and definitely there'll be a long report about it and how they were treated. Yes, indeed.
And then another thing, I'm going to be quick. On Goodman's Bay, and I see all of this because I usually traverse the Western Road. On Goodman's Bay, they put up the sign, no cars, no vehicles on the green on Goodman's Bay. We have children, we have adults walking, and last week it was unbelievable, the amount of vehicles that were on the green on Goodman's Bay. And when you look, the arm was down. Some of us complained on social media, and we saw results. Order needs to come to this town.
Yeah.
There is too much nonsense going on in this country, and once you pay a couple dollars under the table, you get off scot-free. We need to stop it.
Oh, wow.
Have a great day. Have a wonderful weekend.
All right. Thanks a lot. Oh, boy. Yeah. So, again, in this incident in Exuma, it was a boat, not a jet ski, but in any event, too close to the shore, and just kept on going. Now, maybe they didn't know they hit somebody, but they heard, and I'm sure they know where they were around that time. Caller, what say you? Good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Hi, you're live on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. The two previous caller made some very interesting observation, but what has happened in the Bahamas is that for too long and too often that we have this same thing playing out. The first caller alluded to that in Montague, where you have not only jet ski operators, but you got other boats just violate. We have, right, first of all, we got to have some law and order, right? What we need to get back to is that we need to recruit persons like we had back in the 80s. We need beach warden and the likes to patrol these beaches, because you got to free up the police officers. But you need beach wardens. You need to establish that presence on all of the major beaches and throughout the Commonwealth as well, especially in New Providence, because we got to have some rules and regulation. Everybody goes on the beach and do whatever they wish. We got to have some law and order, some presence of law and order to help deter this behavior. And then, like one of the caller indicated, that if you're going to violate those terms and conditions under which your license was issued to deal with the general public, it should be revoked. It shouldn't be a second thought about it. It should be revoked. You know, we've got to make an example, because this is, for too often, the Bahamas have been getting negative feedback from tourists who end up in accident in the Bahamas, and the situation was deplorable because either there was no transportation, or when they went to the clinic, there was totally inadequate way to deal with the matter and all of this sort of stuff. This is not working. This is not helping us as a tourist destination. We are talking about over 12 million tourists a year. That is good. But what are you doing to improve the situation, to continue to allow this flow to continue? Because one bad press is one too much. And that situation where they called the Bahamas and subsequently got no response, that's ridiculous.
Well, again,
being able to say to that lady, look, this matter is under investigation. The police have certain credible information, and we are doing a thorough investigation of this matter. This is just nonsense, man, in 2025.
I hear you.
We've got to do better.
Thank you very much. Well, I mean, they're just getting a taste of what the average Bahamian experiences every day when they call the police asking for information about their matter. Yeah. So, hey, So I don't know why they would get something different, but that's just how it is. We got a lot of your text messages to go to. We'll get to them in a bit, but let's get some more calls in. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning. Are you there? We hear us. Turn on the radio, please. Good morning. Call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
And once again, thank you for the work you do in facilitating public discourse on these very important national issues.
Thank you.
The other day you had the Minister of National Security on, and I have in the past commend you for that interview that you did with him. I had also wished that he was would have been able to give us an update on his announcement that he would have been requiring going forward the jet ski operators to be outfitted with body cams. I, for one, while that is a step in the right direction,
is it that far yet, or was that just a proposal, something on the table? I don't know if it was.
Well, he said they were looking at it,
right.
And I was hoping that he could have given an update on where that was, because it's obviously the jet ski better regulation of the jet ski operators, considering the many complaints, including the alleged sexual assaults that takes place in some of those incidents. It's critical right now, and I think that it would be good for us to understand what is being done in terms of that most recent announcement that he made and how far they were along. Mm-hmm. That being said, I believe that in that same interview, the Minister of National Security indicated that they were working through regulations as it pertains to the impact that drones would have on national security and other related areas. Mm-hmm. I believe that the beach areas in these fast developing, including the Providence tourist area, we should deploy drones for water safety. It is being done in other jurisdictions where drones are now serving as the mechanism through which rescue for people who are drowning is deployed. But at the same time, it can also serve as a monitoring in prevention in some, particularly as it relates to these fast boats and the way they come within the water lines, et cetera, et cetera. Mm. So I'm hoping that at some point, this whole disconnected concept that we're using in terms of trying to address these issues, we can see a sort of connectedness in what we're doing. If we're using drones for inland, why not? I have a friend now who is a drone operator at security agencies, and he's retiring, a younger guy. It would be helpful that as young as he is, guys like them, you can now direct them into other areas because, like I say, he's probably in his late 40s. So I close by saying this, Dwight, that the Bahamas, in terms of our resources to be able to respond to many of these challenges that we're talking about, we cannot have a disjointed approach. We need to now start integrating the singular approach where one concept that is used for one thing, we see how it can be directed to other areas where there are challenges. And drones inland should now be deployed to drones along the coast so that we can affect water safety, a lot of these other issues that we're having along the coast with our nation.
Okay.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. One final call, and then we want to get to your text messages. Are you there, caller? Hi, good morning. Are you there? No. Okay. I don't keep hearing ourselves. All right, so here's a text. This person says, hey, Montague is not a prime example. The whole coast of New Providence, the jet skis and the boats are breaking the rules every day. I see it. Okay, so it's one of the examples, as you're saying, everywhere. This person says the water sports need to be addressed and safety measurements need to be put in place. Well, I think they're there, but they're violations. This person says here, Dwight, that can't be Bahamians on that boat. Mm-hmm. What? Let's say that they are allegedly illegal. What now? What? Do you think they will ever find them or turn themselves in? We know they won't find them because we don't know who's in our country. Our borders are open because the Ministry of National Security isn't securing them. Come on now. Montague should not be a tourist destination. That's our last beach. What are you talking? What's going on with you today? What's happening? Every single line, just wacky. This person says here, you do know when you hit something. It was that's why the injured man said the people on the boat looked to see damage to the propellers when you stop, and you can put two and two together. Oh boy. Okay. This person says here, we need designated safe zones for swimming and snorkeling, adequate signage and patrols at our popular beaches, warning signs for areas outside of those safe zones. Here we go again. The Ministry of Tourism, Transport, and National Security will be running around like the sky is falling. The current person points out that our system is a mess. Was it 2 weeks ago when I said nothing will happen until the U.S. issues a travel alert again? I don't know if you did. But okay. I'd asked if there was any update from the commissioner, who said she would look into reports that an American tourist had his foot almost sawed off in an attack in an Atlantis nightclub. In 2 years, the incident never showed up anywhere in the police report. Who are they trying to fool? Why are they hiding information from the public? Oh, boy. This person says here the fault does not lie fully with the boaters. As snorkelers or divers, there is meant to be a dive flag on display to indicate to boaters there are divers in the water. And yes, they have them that float if you are not in a boat yourself. Well, according to the wife, they weren't that far from the shore. So there's no reason for a boat to have been anywhere near there. So they're saying. And I guess the Bahamian witnesses who saved this man can tell you that too. This person says the jet ski operators and boat operators are just out of control. Just look at Saunders Beach alone. The swimming area was cordoned off, but the jet ski operators removed the ropes. What now? And now come within the swimming area to get gas from the gas station. This is a lawless nation. Maybe those drivers without driver's licenses, maybe they might have already been revoked, but they're still driving. We need to lock them up. Okay, well. Of course. What is Beaches and Parks doing? Goodman's Bay is a dump. Rum is selling all over the beach. It's full of garbage. People selling and harassing guests all day. There's no law and order on the beach. Is that the maintenance of the law and order? Is that Beaches and Parks, or is that the police force? Or maybe it's both. I don't know. We are unable to police traffic. Expect more on the waterways. Yesterday, I saw motorcyclists driving on the whole stretch of the sidewalk on the main Foxhill Road at a high speed. We need to really monitor the proliferation of these motorbikes on our streets. The operators wear no helmets. We are too lawless in this country. Well, as it seems, they only go back and look at CCTV footage once there is an incident. So that's how it seems. And I don't know how helpful that is. Anyway, when we had 5 million tourists coming here, we wanted more to come. I warned you all to diversify our economy, or you may not like the side effects of 10 million tourists. Henceforth, we see much more negatives than we can handle. Okay, I mean, stuff like this could happen if you only have 1 million tourists. I mean, but okay. And the other day I was jogging and a swimmer, jogging and swimming on a public beach with my wife. The jet ski operator came to shore twice to pick up some young girls and took them on a joyride. When he was dropping off the last young lady, he came speeding through. I confronted him and told him that he needed to stop doing this. I'm prepared to defend my family to the end. Thanks. Thankfully there were a lot of Bahamians there. We need more law and order. Okay. I've messaged you a few times about how the street at the rear of the straw market downtown has become a speedway. You don't seem to believe me, according to your response. Check it out yourself. What did I say? Everywhere downtown is chaotic. I tell you, it reminds me of Mad Max. There are people on those four-wheelers. They are out of control. They're doing wheelies. They think our downtown, well, anyway. Yeah, they don't care. They would never do this in Manhattan, but they can do it here, and it must feel good. They sure look like they're having a lot of fun. but it looks chaotic to me, and I'm sure to some of you. Allow it to happen. We allow it to happen. And here we are. All right, so we're going to squeeze in a few more calls before we go to the break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. I can't hear you. Are you there? Yes, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Nana Boy, GNN. I listened, sit back this morning. I didn't want to be the first caller this morning, but I listened to all of the other callers making a lot of sense. However, like John always make excellent sense. But John, you might as well put that on the shelf until we get a holistic change in this country, because these dudes ain't checking. You could listen to the talk shows and solve all of the problems in this country.
Wow.
But the people we send in politics, they ain't checking, Dwight. You understand me? Patrick is in Meguana. He is the fisheries officer there. I was there. I watched him watching some yachts diving out there. He couldn't get off the shore because he had no equipment. What we need is education. What we need is the proper tools to police these things, and we need to carry it out. Those beaches, one time ago, Dwight, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, all of those beaches had lines, We had the lines out there that told boaters and stuff on jet skis, you can't come over this line. You understand? We just need enforcement. All them drones and stuff like that, we ain't need them. We need to teach the little children, like what they used to do with us, and then enforce the rules.
Well, the last part is the big part. There are probably rules already for everything, as we've been hearing, but it's just the enforcement, right? I believe you're supposed to wear a helmet as a motorcyclist. Last time, I think I see one person wearing a helmet a week, and I see 200 a day without. But they'll ride right past a police car. No biggie. Things like that are happening all the time. It's like these matters are insignificant to our law enforcement. It seems. One final call. Yes. Hi, are you there? You're live on the air. No. Okay. All right. So let's take a break. Is that there? No. Let's take a break. When we come back, there's a whole lot more to talk about, including these shocking numbers based on the Ministry of Health's Global School Health Report. The kids are under pressure, folks. We'll get to that. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
From Foggy to Yellowtail, from Jackfish to Killer Whale, I jump in my dingy boat and I head on down the coast. I need a fish to fight, my kids gotta eat tonight, so I do what I gotta do, take some fish back for them to stew. I've been in this way long, and I was very strong. By my father's side, he said, get big boy to make your man. What you got a big line, son, you'll be fine. Just keep your eye out for them floating groupers passing by. I'm a boatman, a seaman, my work is on.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's time for your first look at traffic, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, reaching your goals happens here. On this 4th of July, we are seeing some heavy traffic on Blue Hill Road, just north of Soldier Road as you get over that hill to Independence Drive in the northbound lanes. You'll see that there. And over on East Street, some slow-moving northbound traffic from just north of Sapodilla Boulevard straight through the intersection with Soldier Road on the way to East-West Highway. Some building traffic as well as you get closer to Robinson Road, just north of roundabout with East-West Highway. Elsewhere, Mild Butler Highway, slow-moving traffic for you, but manageable northbound. And some building traffic westbound on Carmel Road on the way to Coral Harbor Road. That's what we're seeing so far. We'll have another update for you in our 8 o'clock hour. This traffic alert brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. And at 7:55, time for another check of your weather for today. We've got a severe weather watch in effect for the northern and northwest Bahamas. An abundance of tropical moisture, along with a low pressure system just north of the Bahamas and a mid-level trough over the central Bahamas. It's all generating the weather that we're seeing today and right now in some parts of the country. A strong high pressure system is maintaining a gentle to moderate breeze, gusting during thunderstorms. So unsettled weather will continue across the area into the weekend. We'll see a gradual improvement with normal summer showers and afternoon thunderstorms by the middle of next week. So for today, look for cloudy to overcast conditions for the northern and northwest Bahamas, a 40 to 60% chance of showers and widely scattered thunderstorms. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy, with only about a 20 to 30% chance of showers with thunderstorms. Temperatures today around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, but the heat index will make you feel like it's 100 Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 80 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Saturday, tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy across the northern islands, partly sunny across the rest of the country. A 30 to 60% chance of showers with thunderstorms for the northern Bahamas, 30% chance for the rest of the country. By Sunday, partly sunny during the day, becoming fair at night, still a 20 to 30% chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms. Monday, improving conditions, partly sunny during the day, becoming fair at night, only a 10% chance of showers. That holds for Tuesday, but changes come again by Wednesday. That's Independence Eve. We're looking at a mix of sun and clouds in the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly sunny for the central and southeast Bahamas, a 20% chance of isolated showers in the northern and northwest Bahamas. We'll take a closer look at the tropics in our next weather check. This weather check brought to you by Colina and Colina's Customer Appreciation Day this Saturday at 308 East Bay Street in New Providence. Get free health screenings, attend educational sessions, and sign up for the portal. There'll be prizes and giveaways. You may even win a phone, laptop, or TV. It's all happening Saturday, July 5th at 308 East Bay Street. Come join the fun and let Colina help you thrive.
To explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
And Coca-Cola is giving away up to $25,000 of hot cash this summer. To enter, upgrade any premium combo from 1 through 12 to a medium or a large for your chance to win the grand prize of $10,000. Don't miss your chance to win big this summer. Visit your neighborhood Wendy's, upgrade your favorite lunch combo, and win hot cash. Rules and restrictions apply.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom 396-1101.
Are you dreaming of a brighter future? The answer is right beneath your feet. Buying land is a wise investment. You can build a home, hold it as collateral, or pass it on to your children. And with CIBC Caribbean, buying land is a bold move you can make right now. CIBC Caribbean is giving you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com for more details. CIBC Caribbean terms and conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
My only friend is the city I live in, the city of angel. Lonely as I am, together we cry. I drive on the streets 'cause she's my companion. I walk through the hills 'cause she knows who I am. She sees my good deeds and she kisses the windy. And I never worry, now that is a lie. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day, but take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day, but take me to the place I love. Take me all the way, yeah.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with you on this Friday morning. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking with Shell about their Catch the Thrill and Win promotion going on now. And later in business, it's our monthly disability awareness series. We are talking about kids with diabetes and the Kids with Diabetes summer camp that is going on right now. So that's all ahead. But we've been telling you about this, and we're going to get into it right now. The big headlines in the papers. 1 in 5 teens in the Bahamas have attempted suicide. 1 in 4 have seriously contemplated it. Alcohol use at crisis levels, obesity, unprotected sex, so many things. This is all coming out of the Ministry of Health's Global School Health Report for 2025. And some of the findings will surprise you. Take a listen to this report from our Charlene Ferguson.
The data enabling a glimpse into the lives of 2,213 Bahamian students ages 13 to 18 across 35 schools and 8 islands is no doubt disturbing, beginning with how many of those children are contemplating taking their own lives.
We found that 28% of students reported persistent feelings of sadness and hopelessness. 1 in 4 teens, or 25%, have seriously contemplated suicide, and 1 in 5 have attempted suicide.
Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville says the information contained in the Bahamas 2025 Global School Health Report showed many kids are buckling under societal pressures, including violence at school and at home, including bullying. It may be contributing to what is an alarming spike in substance abuse among teens, especially alcohol abuse.
Alcohol use is at crisis levels. The proportion of teens who have ever consumed alcohol, excluding for religious use, has more than doubled, from 32% to 74%. Currently, 34% of teens are active drinkers, with binge drinking rising 6-fold, from 2% to 12%, and drunkenness climbing from 21% to 27%. 3 out of every 4 teens who purchased alcohol were never asked to show an ID, despite the legal drinking age of 18 years.
She revealed that more than half of Bahamian teens surveyed, that's 54.6%, used illegal drugs before the age of 13. That's before the completion of junior high school.
Lifetime cocaine use, in particular, has surged tenfold, from 1% in 1998 to 12% in 2023. This represents one of the sharpest increases across any indicator in this report. Lifetime marijuana use also has more than doubled, from 8% to 17%. And the use of synthetic drugs like uppers and ecstasy has crept from 4% to 5%. 14% of teens live in homes where drugs are used. Even more troubling, 13% of teens who admit to using drugs and alcohol reported attending school under the influence.
Our children are also being exposed to more violence, particularly at school.
Weapon carrying increased from 13% to 18%. Gang involvement now stands at 8%. Bullying is up, both on and off school grounds, increasing from 24% to 38%. With the rise of digital media, 16 of our teens reported being harassed online.
Exposure to violence in the home increased from 25% in 1998 to 33% in 2023. 22% of teens, mostly boys, have been sexually exploited. 10%, mostly girls, have been forced to have sex. And while more kids are choosing to delay sexual activity, with fewer initiating sex at 13 or younger, and a decline among those with multiple sexual partners from 55% in 1998 to 15% in 2023, that's pretty much where the good news ends.
Nearly 50% of sexually active teens reported having unprotected sex, indicating that condom knowledge is not translating into condom use. This gap may be contributing to the recent increase in sexually transmitted infections, as reported by the National HIV/AIDS Program earlier this year. Boys are 4 times more likely than girls to report having multiple sexual partners, 22.3% compared to 6.3%.
Perhaps not surprising, the report finds that every measured mental health indicator has worsened for those kids, with 28% of them feeling depressed. And as their mental health declines, so too does their physical health.
The rate of overweight teens in the Bahamas has increased by over 135% since 1998. Obesity has tripled, jumping from 7% to 21%.
Dr. Darville says it can't just be up to government to fix this. That report, he said, gives stakeholders, including parents, the information needed to act with clarity and courage to begin immediately drafting a plan to save our kids, like creating a national adolescence healthcare policy, early intervention community-based support services, and a national nutrition and physical activity campaign. Dr. Pearl McMillan says this data should not cause adults to panic, but to act.
Our children and youth are our future, and the findings shared today should be treated as priority and raise concern for every father, mother, teacher, pastor, community leader, law enforcement officer, and beyond, with commitment to support the changes required.
For the Guardian News Network, I'm Charlene Ferguson.
Okay, it's a lot there. It's almost overwhelming, but let's talk about it. 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. What do you make of that? I'm curious, how far back do we have info from the Global School Health Report? The numbers, apparently from what they're saying, are up from most recent years. But I do wonder if they were doing this in the 80s and 90s, if the findings would be any different. I'm curious. I'll tell you more about why I'm saying that in a bit, but let's hear from you. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Dwight.
Hi.
How you doing, man?
Doing well.
Are you surprised? We don't need a report to tell us what we could see and witness every day. And every morning I listen to you, we have the same issues as it relates to young people, the amount of suicide, the amount of violence in this country. That report just confirms what people knew, been saying all along.
Yeah. Well, well, that's the thing. So what are we going to do about it? What are we doing about it?
Leadership, leadership in this country really blind to reality,
Mm-hmm.
These young people have no voice in this country. Sexual abuse goes unchecked. Look, every day in the paper someone gets in charge or, there is no real empowerment for these young people. Everybody too busy. And especially adults chasing their own self-interest, man. We're ignoring these young people. And then we act surprised. And the first thing people call in and say, oh, this generation lost. This generation like pointing fingers.
Do you think it's worse than it was in the 80s and 90s?
I think it's spoiling. It's brewing over, and it gets worse because now you put a device in these young people's hands, and you put them in the corner, and they're more so communicating with what we call virtual friends. So they're not interacting with peers and with people. So they're just in the front of a phone, and they're just online, and so when they go into their dark spaces, the people who they think are their friends online are just virtual friends. They don't have no one to talk to.
No.
They don't have anyone to talk to when they're in crisis and when they want to speak out. And this generation is one of the generations who usually will come and say, man, I'm going through something right now. They don't stay on jobs, right? They're not resilient anymore. And we as adults, because I'm a father, we have to be able to make sure we nurture and give these kids the tools so that when they get older, they can be able to thrive in this environment.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what's going on this time. See, we losing it. We empowering everything else outside of these young people who are supposed to be the next generation to take this country over. We got to pour back into them. We got to pour back in their safety is very important. Children are getting abused at home, in schools, in the public, so they have no one to turn to. They get no opportunities, right? And nobody can invest in them. Look at it, Dwight. Look at it. So what you think they can do?
Okay. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Let's take another call. We've got a few of your messages in as well. Caller, what say you on this? Good morning. Hi, good morning. You're live on the air. Are you there? We hear you. Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you, Dwight. Good morning to the wider Bahamas. Hey, Dwight, let me just first say what that person talked about digital health, right? January 3rd of 2003 was my introduction to talk radio in the Bahamas. And believe it or not, that was before Facebook and all these other things came about. We were using those other platforms. And Jeffrey Lloyd and I used to talk about this and the possibility of where it's going to affect us, especially when these other digital means came on, because I was one that grew up. My twin and I, we raised about 40 children and nephews, nieces, and everything in this new digital era beginning from the 80s. And so we were well aware of what it was because we were immersed in it. And I talked about this, and I think Jeffrey Lloyd talked about it on a few occasions on your show. The problem is that with the very technology that is influencing our children is the very technology that is needed to help them. But it's like a knife. You have to know what to use for. It could be used for its purpose or it could be abused. It could hurt someone and whatever else. The problem is that when you talk about our children, no one can assess them from an individual basis. We are watching a crowd, and through observation, based on our peripheral view or whatever we see, we say this is our opinion. But you talk about the aspect of the 100,000 children we have in school. The Ministry of Education can't give you a list of those 100,000 people. The Ministry of Health is knocking door to door trying to find these children. The Ministry of Social Services don't know where they are, the abuse, or anything of that sort. And the point is when we start talking about this national ID system with data protection and everything else, if we know where our children are, we could anonymously, not further to allow it into the public domain, be able to process and determine the needs of every single child in this Bahamas and to make sure that they are shaped and being going in the right direction.
Well, you could also do that, CL, and I got to let you go. A lot of calls from running out of time. You could also find out by talking to them, and I don't know if people are talking to them. Parents are talking to their kids. I don't think they are. I don't think they really are. And that, before you get into all that stuff, would help a lot. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? No. All right, so I'm going to call out the Bahamian people. The government needs to do more. Absolutely. But no, the hypocrisy in this country is astounding. These kids are doing what they see everybody else around here do. And every single show that they're watching, everybody's doing cocaine and drinking And the sex is out of control. Everybody, they know the parents are doing it. They see, they hear what you're saying. They hear what you've done. The conversations you have with adults who are in their 50s right now, ask them what they were doing when they were 12. It would blow your mind. It would blow your mind. And this is the problem here. Folks aren't talking to their children. Don't be like me. I regret everything I did. This is insane. And I know the risk, the temptation is going to be great to do this. But don't. This is the consequence. No one's having the honest conversations with these kids. And they're just doing what they see everybody else here and in the world do. And these numbers are probably low. Because probably some people don't want to tell you what they're doing and what they've been through and who's abused them. And if we had these studies in the 80s, we'll get these final calls in. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Yes. It's not a good positive report, and I am not surprised. And I do believe that we all are alert as to the issue, as you alluded to. We have to talk about it. But we have to admit in this country, this new liberalized values that we have picked up from the North America, the family structure, we don't believe in that anymore. We have liberalized all of the values that this country was once built on. I am old enough to see this new and old Bahamas. And we have to pay the price. On your news a moment ago, a young man was sentenced to a couple of years in prison while the parent was very much, I should say, generous in letting him in. But his motive was wrong. Where did that come from? That come from the structure that he was nurtured in. And many more incidents in this country like that. I wish my good friend...
He has a sickness. I don't know about anything about being nurtured. He might have been abused himself. I don't know. And it was 20 years. It's not a couple of years. Let's not downplay that. It's 20 years.
Anyone behave in that manner, in any which way, I do believe they are mentally disturbed. Because no normal thinking person with common sense. I saw... Anyway, I will not touch that. But anyway... That report, every Bahamian who listened to that report should pay some attention. But my view will not change. This country that I know, this new liberal Bahamas, do not believe in the family structure and values.
I'm not sure why you're mixing all these things up. Liberal and a pedophile. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is not related. This is not related at all. In conservative communities, they've got pedophiles all over. So that's what are you doing? You're trying to say something else. I wish you would say what you're trying to say, but a pedophile is very different from what you're trying to say.
Could I continue? Or
well, if you're going to be honest, be honest. Say what you
want me to stop or continue?
Let everyone hear what you really are trying to say.
What am I trying to say? We are paying the price for these liberal values that we have picked up.
Okay, you might be right, but I don't know why you mentioned the pedophile. But I hear you. Okay, final call. Good morning, call. You're on there. Are you there? Hi, good morning. No, okay, let's read these messages as we go to the break. This person says here, listening to those stats was alarming but not surprising. When I was in junior or senior high school, drinking, night train, smoking, having sex, gang violence, and bullying was the thing. The high school I went to, I had to learn how to fight before you learn your lessons. If these surveys were taking place 30 years ago, it would have blown people's minds. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. There was a strong, strict male-female teacher and headmasters that that helped to stomp out some of these issues in the school. And that's what's needed, yeah. And it was going on then, and probably worse than today. Not trying to downplay, but we have not fixed the problems that are at the root here. Decades old issues that are passed on to our children because they're taught they have to do it, they believe they have to do it, or it's in their DNA, and we're not fixing it. We'll be shocked today, by next week, on to something else. And nobody has any solutions to fix it. It seems, just pointing fingers at everybody else. You all are to blame. This person says there are too many rum shops, gambling houses, and fast food shops. Fast food, wow. On this little island. This is, well, maybe with the obesity thing you're talking about. Okay. That is the conclusion of the report, along with lost parents and families. We are in serious problems, and it will get worse. This person says here we must first refer to our children as children and not kids. Yeah, because that's causing the problem. Yeah. We are all aware that in this country we need time. We need to find the time as a community to spend with our children. Don't let another force us to do this. Okay. All right, we're going to leave that there, and we're going to pick this up next week. There's a whole lot more to talk about. We'll talk with some of the experts about what they're seeing and see if we can find some solutions. So stay tuned for that. We're going to take a break and be back with more on this Friday morning. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Take me all the way, yeah.
Here's a Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil shrimp,
clays.
stew shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
Abaco, get ready for the summer's official rum and beer link call. Royalty Sounds present Found Fast. Found Fast. Saturday, July 5th, Morris Harbor, Abaco at the Royal Recreational Ground. Gates open 5 p.m., $20 entry. Ladies free before 8 p.m. with Nassau and Abaco's hottest DJ. Don't miss the beer drinkers versus rum drinkers competition.
Pulling for the best side, icicle liquor.
Can't run for me. Found Fast, July 5th, Abaco. Sponsored by Collect, the Beer of the Bahamas. Drink responsibly.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
With RBC, your idea of loving every journey happens now. Free up cash with affordable auto financing from RBC. With competitive rates and no bank fees, it's the perfect time to make every journey something special. Apply now to pre-qualify in 60 seconds at rbc.com/auto loan to shop with confidence. Conditions apply. RBC, your idea of loving your journey happens here.
It's time to upgrade at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BEMC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Get ready to catch the thrill and win with Shell. Fuel up with $20 or more and unlock your shot at unforgettable prizes.
We're talking regatta trips to Exuma and Harbor Island.
Free fuel, grocery vouchers, water park passes, and more. Just snap your receipt and WhatsApp it to us at 242-422-0271. The vibes are high, the prizes are hot, and the summer is yours to win with Shell. Only at participating Shell stations in Nassau. Now through August 22nd. Terms and conditions apply.
Got your final look at weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. We've got a severe weather watch in effect for the northern and northwest Bahamas. We're experiencing abundance of tropical moisture along with a low-pressure system just north of the islands, combined with a mid-level trough over the central islands. It's all generating the weather we're seeing. Strong high pressure maintains a gentle to moderate breeze, gusting to thunderstorms during thunderstorms. And the unsettled weather will continue across the country throughout the weekend. We'll see a gradual improvement by midweek next week before another low-pressure system will drift into the North Atlantic and enhance shower activities towards the end of the week. So for today, although this low is north of the Bahamas and will not directly impact us, strong to gale force winds may potentially be experienced in Grand Bahama, Bimini, and Abaco, with excessive rainfall and bouts of severe weather beginning today and throughout the weekend. So flooding is possible in low-lying and flood-prone areas in the extreme northern Bahamas. So for today, your forecast calls for cloudy to overcast conditions for the northern and northwest Bahamas, with a 40 to 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Slightly better conditions in the central and southeast Bahamas today, partly cloudy to cloudy with only a 20 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. High temperatures around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel like it's 100 Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 80, 81 Fahrenheit, 26, 27 Celsius. In your extended outlook as we head into the weekend, for Saturday, partly cloudy to cloudy across the northern islands, partly sunny across the rest of the country, a 30 to 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms over the northern Bahamas on Saturday. Sunday, partly sunny during the day, becoming fair at night, with a 20 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Improving conditions by Monday and Tuesday, partly sunny during the day, becoming fair at night. By Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds in the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly sunny for the rest of the country. In the tropics, we've been watching this all week. A weak area of low pressure. It's formed now about 100 miles east of Jacksonville, Florida. Environmental conditions are forecast to be marginally conducive for further development, and a tropical or subtropical depression could form near the southeastern United States late today or over the weekend if the low remains offshore. The system has a medium chance of tropical cyclone formation through the next 48 hours and a 60% chance of development over the next 7 days. So we'll continue to watch that for you. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Are your walls giving major L? Well, time to fix that at your nearest Sherwin-Williams paint store. Done listening? We'll start glistening with Sherwin-Williams paints. And a quick check of traffic brought to you by RBC. With RBC, reaching your goals happens here. Real-time traffic, we've got Milo Butler Highway seeing some heavy traffic now from just south of the Harold Pond area, north of Fire Trail, all the way up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Blue Hill Road also busy for you north of Carmichael Road, north of Soldier, on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive. We're seeing some pockets of traffic along Wolf Road, especially westbound, and as you get closer to Poinciana Drive. And at the major intersections along Prince Charles Drive, you'll see that as well. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Nassau is the capital, Bahamas. Bimini is the gateway, Bahamas. 1492, Columbus landed. 1973, we were free. From Nassau to Inagua, Bahamas. From Freeport to McWanna, Bahamas. Tourists love our country, Bahamas. 700 islands, Bahamas. Happy Independence, Bahamas. Happy anniversary, Bahamas. Happy Independence, Bahamas. Golden anniversary.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with you on this Friday morning. Okay, so we're changing gears and very excited about this. Shell always has amazing promotions, and the Catch the Thrill and Win promotion is on now. Here to tell us all about this, we are very pleased to welcome from Shell Sun Oil, Fabian Fernandez, Sales and Marketing Manager. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Let's get all the mics up there. We've got Retail Territory Manager, Selena McQuay.
Good morning.
And we have Marketing Intern, Karis Knowles.
Good morning.
Great to have you with us. Welcome, welcome. All right, so you want to get into the promotion?
Definitely.
Or you got something exciting going on as well with
All
the
of that.
interns. So
All of that.
where do we begin?
All over. So, Dwight, every time we do this, we jump off and it's exciting. All of our past promotions have been so great. Where persons got to go see John Legend.
Wow.
We send folks to go see the Dolphins game, in Miami, to play Buffalo. That was exciting. Persons now, last year they went on different trips. So this year, you just came up with that song, Nassau is the capital of Bahamas.
That's right.
And we sending people to Regatta this year.
Oh, boy.
What's the biggest
Bahamian flair?
It's the
with this one,
Bahamian
right?
flair this
Yeah.
one. Because the biggest complaint is, they ain't got nowhere to stay. We're going to go on a regatta. They can't get no flight. They can't get out. So we got the whole package for them, all squared away.
Excellent, because it's very expensive, too.
It
So
is.
you are handling this?
I'm telling you, we handling the whole
man.
thing.
This
the
is
whole
amazing.
thing. This the whole Catch the Thrill and Win summer right here.
Okay. All right. Why? I mean, you said a little bit just now, but why was it important to do it like this?
It was important to do it like this because, for us, it's all about giving back, right? So with Shell, we know things tough. We know you're struggling to make that $100 split and all that stuff, but you have to put that gas in the tank. So we want to know, if you're putting that gas in the tank, let's give something back to the consumer, right? We want to give you something back, have a little fun. It's summertime, it's hot, you got to get away. And the only thing you got to do to kind of work this out, Dwight, is spend $20 at any of our stations, and you get to make this happen.
Wow, that's pretty easy. It's already started.
It's already started. So it started last week, and it's going until August 29th, and you get 3 chances to win. So you could win that first regatta trip, where you go to regatta on August 1st to Exuma. You got 3 days, 2 flights. You got your car, you got your room, all taken care of. Then you get that second regatta to Harbor Island later on in the year.
Okay.
I mean, that's the sweet one, right? With Bryland. You get to put your toes in the sand, drive your golf cart. And then the big one at the end, we want people to live like Bahamians. I mean, you've done here as a Bahamian, but you gotta live like a tourist. You gotta get in there, enjoy it like a tourist. So we're setting you up in Grand Island, Exuma, where you get your breakfast prepared, you get your turn down service, you get to go on an excursion, 4 days, all inclusive. Just love yourself like you was a tourist, but you still Bahamian.
This is pretty cool. All right, so August, that's close. So when's the drawing for that one?
The drawing for that one today, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah. Today.
So is it too late if I hop in the car and go and gas?
It's too late. It's too late for this one today.
All right, so catch the next one.
Yeah.
And so from today, you're going to be entered to win.
Correct. So from today on, you enter to win the next one. And we giving tons away of prizes. So I just start with the grand prizes, Dwight, but we have tons of other prizes. I can let Selena just go into that right here.
All right, Selena, let us know.
So Dwight, picture this. We have fuel vouchers to keep your tank, on full. So you could take those long drives throughout the whole summer. We also have family adventures for 4 at Aqua Adventure at Atlantis. Think about that. We also have BPL vouchers so your AC could stay on cool all summer long. You know, it's hot. You just finished saying it on, it feel like 100 degrees.
It will.
And we also giving away a brand new smartphone. So if you have a dumb phone, you could ditch that and upgrade to a smartphone.
Excellent.
And then we also giving away other grand prizes like Fabian just mentioned. We're taking you to the regattas in style. All expenses paid. It don't get no better than that.
Yeah. So those prizes are given away, what, every week? Or?
Yeah, so every week we be giving away prizes, and then the grand prizes are given away at the live remote. So today we have a live remote at Shell Airport at 4 o'clock. We already have our 10 persons who've already been buying with us for the last 3 weeks. They're coming down today. They're going to spin the wheel, and you can tune into us on radio and hear, the big giveaways as the person goes to get that live regatta trip.
Okay, you said 10 persons. Tell us how that works. So, because I'm sure many more than 10 were entered to win.
Definitely. So we have a random drawing machine where actually we put all the entries in. They randomly pick 10 people, and we call them. We call them up. Everyone, and you have to answer your phone. That's the biggest part of it. So normally we pick 20 people because we know some people don't want strange numbers, right?
Right.
They don't want the block numbers and block calls. So we get our 10 persons. They come down, and they spin the wheel, and whatever the wheel lands on is the prize they get to take.
Okay. All right. So that's going to be very exciting.
That's going to be exciting.
And they have to be there to
They have to be there to win.
All right. So that's great. And so you've got all this time until the next one. When will that drawing be?
The next drawing will be on August 1st.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
you get
that's
that
for the
That's for the Harbor Island,
All right. And then after that, what's next?
So after that, after Harbor Island, then you have the last one on August 29th, where you get to spin the wheel for that one. That's the 4-day trip to Grand Isle. Okay. And folks, we giving it so you have the full 12 months to plan your trip. So we ain't rushing you. You get it 12 months. Once you get that, to plan your trip to Grand Isle whenever your vacation feel like, whether it's January, February, March. You go there and love yourself. You can do excursions, swim with the pigs, go on the yacht, whatever you feel like doing. That can be paid for already.
Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff.
The
All right.
yourself package.
That's a good name for it. That's a good name for it. And anybody, as long as you put the $20 in.
Put the $20 in, you're eligible to win. We have that Smart Pass app now. So you can pull up to the station if you ain't got no cash on you. You could scan the QR code on the pump, automatically start the pump, and you could pay using your Smart Pass app. Okay. And anyone who uses the app on their phone, they get double entries.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So good luck to the folks today. That's going to be very exciting. All right. So you've got other exciting things going on.
Other exciting things. Well. So Dwight, as a company, Sun Oil Limited and Focal is always growing and expanding. We have tons of things going on where we've expanded our portfolio. We just don't do Shell. We also do, power generation. We also have, multiple things going on with lubricants. And now as a 100% owned Bahamian company, and just so you know, we are shareholders. I am a shareholder in the company. We have an employee shareholder program. We've extended this now to where we have our Focal Emerging Leaders program, where we've decided to reach out and now start and encourage the next Bahamian leaders for our company. So this year we launched the program. We have 20 young Bahamians who are either graduating high school or starting college who are now interning with us. And today we have one of them with us today, Karis Knowles, who's our marketing intern.
Wow.
Hello.
Welcome, Karis. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great.
So how does this feel to be a part of this program?
It feels amazing because, you don't really see that many companies that invest in the next generation. So seeing Focal do this and get firsthand experience on the career field that I want to go in is really great.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, this is the career you want to do?
Yes, marketing.
Yeah. What entices you? Why marketing?
I would say marketing because you get to be creative, you get to think outside the box, and it's just a really fun space.
Yeah. Have you been doing it now?
This is my second year.
Okay. All right, great. So you're in college or?
Oh, I just graduated high school.
High school.
Yes.
High school. Okay. Great stuff. So what is next? What's the future look like?
I'm going to the University of Tampa where I'll major in marketing and finance.
Excellent. I know you're going to do well.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And again, how many students you have?
We have 20 in total. So we have 20. So And we're not just limited to Nassau. We have students here in Nassau, we have students here in Grand Bahama, and we have students in the Family Island at our depots. So the program is all encompassing, and students work in multiple fields. We have students in Freeport that are working on the solar panels that we're about to launch. Yeah. We have people in Nassau that are working at the power generation, literally on the ground while the power generation is getting installed. We have persons, in the trucks. We have persons fueling. We have persons across the entire network because we believe that this is our next generation. We want students to be empowered to be able to come back home and find great jobs with great companies like ours.
That's pretty cool. Fabian, you have to come back and bring more of them because we want to learn more about this.
Definitely.
Really
and
cool.
we can.
need more time for this to get into.
We will. Before we go, we definitely have some giveaways for our persons who are listening and who are fueling up with Shell. So this is an easy giveaway. This is an easy one. So folks, if you are the first caller, if you can name 5 of our Shell stations that are located in the West, you will get a $50 fuel voucher to fuel up your car today.
In the West?
In the West.
What do you call in West?
I call in West anything from Blue Hill Road onward.
Okay.
Anything from Blue Hill Road onward.
Okay,
5 in the West.
You had to make that hard. All right, let's do it, folks. First call. Somebody's calling in already. 323-6232. Did you know the answer? You could win these vouchers. Caller, do you have an answer?
What's the question again?
You're tricky. You're tricky. They know the lines. What's the question again?
The question is, what are the name 5 Shell locations in the West? That's anywhere past the Blue Hill Road borderline.
You got them? No, you don't have. Okay, let's take that call. Let's take the other one. Good morning, caller. Do you have an answer to the trivia question?
Good morning. So they are Blue Hill on Poinciana Drive, the roundabout at Oaks Field, where is that? Super Value by Blue Hill Road in Carmichael. Airport, the first one at the airport near the police station, and then the other one is further west of that on the west road.
What area is it in?
You're going to give...
Sorry, we couldn't hear you. What was the last one?
Say that last one again.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Sanders Beach.
That's West Bay.
Yeah. That's West Bay.
So,
West Bay, okay.
Is that the 5?
Is that the 5?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
5. You got it.
You won it. You won it. Okay, so stay on the line. My producer can get your name and number, and we'll tell you how we can connect so you can get these vouchers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So there's
Thank
a lot
you.
because I was thinking more in my head there. So it's quite.
You want to do one more? You got time for one more?
I mean. Oh, okay. You want to do it? Yeah, we got it. So same question, or you have a different question?
Same question. We can change the area. So.
Oh, okay.
I need you to name 5 in the east now.
East of.
And these are
Did
all.
she hang up? Oh, call back. First caller. Call back so we can get your name and number. But this time we're east of Blue Hill.
Yeah, east of Blue Hill. Name 5 locations east of Blue Hill.
5 locations east of Blue Hill. Okay, let's see if this caller is going to get it. Good morning. Do you have an answer to the trivia question?
Okay, we have. Let's go with the one on Wolf Road. That's at Montrose Avenue, opposite Montrose or Mont Royal Avenue.
Yeah, that's one.
Then there's one further east on Wolf Road at Marathon.
Okay, that's the second one.
Okay. Another Shell. There's one at. Come on. There's the other one.
Yeah, he does need a lifeline.
Okay. Wow.
You need to phone a friend.
Yeah.
You were close. You were close.
Okay. There's, I said, the boat on Wolf Road.
Yeah.
There's
There's
2.
one. The other one.
You need
Okay.
other 3.
Yeah, I'm stumped.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's even get another caller in.
Okay.
You figured it out? No? Okay. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Can you name 5 Shell locations east of Blue Hill Road? Do you have the answer? Caller, good morning. Hi, good morning, caller. Do you have the answer?
Hello?
Hi, yeah, do you have the answer?
Does Blue Hill count?
Does Blue Hill count? Do you count Blue
Yes,
Hill?
yes, yes.
Okay, so
Which part of Blue Hill?
Blue Hill North by St. Barnabas.
Yes.
You got Shirley Street by the plaza near by DHL.
That's 2.
That's 2. You got Prince Charles.
That's 3.
You got Road Fort by NIB.
That's 4.
Then you got the one by AID Marathon.
There you go.
There you go.
5.
Stay on the
There you
line.
go.
Stay on the line. The producer's going to get your name and number, and we'll get this voucher to you. Thank you so much. Hey, look at that. So
Congratulations.
how many do you have on your Providence?
So we have 13 in New Providence. Wow. We have 13 in New Providence.
Okay. That's amazing. So remind folks about the promotion that's going
Definitely.
on now.
So the promotion is called Catch the Thrill and Win. You can stop in at any of our participating 13 Shell locations in the West, in the East, in Golden Gates, all around, and spend $20 or more. Take a photo of your receipt and then WhatsApp it to the number on the back of the receipt. And it's that easy. You're entered into the promotion, and you get chances to win our next live away for our regatta in Harbor Island, and then the grand prize for Grand Ole Exuma, and all of the upper prizes: cell phones, smartphones, Bahama, vacations, the whole gamut. It's all available to win.
Excellent stuff. Exciting. I don't know you're going to top this one. Every time you do this, I say it, and you manage to do it. But good stuff. Good luck to everybody, and thank you all for being here again this morning. Fabian Fernandez, Selena McQuay, and Karis Knowles. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dwight.
All right. We're going to take a break for news and then be back with business, our monthly series on disability awareness. You don't want to miss it. We're talking about kids with diabetes and the summer camp that's going on right now. Stay with us here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Bahamas, pineapple from Lucre, Bahamas, mango from Inagua, Bahamas, that island started raking spray, Bahamas, happy independence, Bahamas, happy anniversary, Bahamas, happy independence, Bahamas.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, July 4th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, and it is time for a monthly series every first Friday each month, our Disability Awareness Series. And our partner in this is Dario Charlton with BABV, and Dario's joining us on our live line. Good morning, Dario. Always great to be talking with you.
Good morning, Dwight. Same here, man. I'm so excited about today's segment.
Yeah, I know this is close to you, and it is very, very special indeed. The Kids with Diabetes Summer Camp is going on right now. In fact, it's, I believe, the final day. Our guest will confirm with us that, but we've got very happy to have back with us pediatrician Dr. Terlika Chisholm-Smith and nurse Lindiana Ramming, who's the president of the Bahamas Diabetic Association, and they are joining us live from the camp right now. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas.
Great to have you all with us. So we're going to get into the camp and talk a little bit about kids with diabetes, pediatric diabetes in a bit. But Dario, let's talk about this from your perspective. I know it's a very personal story for you, but just remind folks about that before we get into this.
Yes, I'm always excited to talk to people about diabetes. Diabetes has been a part of my life for more than half of my life. For over the past 2 decades, I have been living with diabetes, but been happy to make a transition to living with diabetes from suffering from it. And so that's a big push behind my voice to speak on diabetes. I want to get every Bahamian under the sound of my voice and those that can reach in and get the information to learn to live with diabetes. And so, speaking about kids with diabetes, they hold a very special place in my heart because at that age, they have to grow up so quickly. Spending some time with them this week at the camp, I saw a lot of 25-year-old me in 8-year-olds and 11-year-olds and 15-year-olds. And so it's a testament to the lives that they have to transition to. But thankfully, through the blessing and open, kind heart of people like Nurse Ramming and Dr. Chisholm Smith, we're able to put them in a position where they can learn to live with and thrive with diabetes.
Wow. Okay. So, Dr. Chisholm Smith, I have to say, before you contacted me a few weeks back about getting the word out about the summer camp, I had no idea that there was such a thing, the Kids with Diabetes Summer Camp. Tell us about it, and Nurse Rami, you can jump in as well. How long has this been going on now, and why is it necessary and important to have a summer camp specific for kids with diabetes?
Okay, good morning again, Dwight, and good morning, Bahamas. This camp actually is our what we call our inaugural camp that we are having as a Kids with Diabetes group under the branch, which is a branch of the Bahamas Diabetic Association. We've had a wonderful week. This is our last day, and we're closing out with a little mini party for the kids. But this is the week has been wonderful. We've seen so many successes. Some of the kids that came in at the beginning of the week, they did not know a single other child that actually had diabetes as well. So they felt that they were going through this journey all on their own. But when they came to the camp and they saw so many other kids that was going through the same situation as they were, it was just so heartwarming to see them interact with each other. We also had education sessions for them to allow them to learn about their diabetes and how to manage their diabetes, how to approach having diabetes from a psychological standpoint. We had psychiatrist Dr. Sean Knowles come and speak to them. That was so influential. And then we had a panel of young adults who actually have type 1 diabetes since they were children, and they got to speak to them about their journey, their personal journey. And these were young adults who were living very well with diabetes, went to college or in college. And so allowing them to hear personal stories from young adults who were very close to their age also was very beneficial to them. And in addition, just doing regular kid stuff, arts and crafts, playing sports, playing with the jumbo games, all of these things. So we had a good balance of education, psychological support, social support. So it really has been a wonderful week.
Wow.
And I'll turn it on to Nurse Ramming.
Yes, because I'm still so excited. Just to see the kids born with their physicians. We have three physicians here.
Oh,
and
my.
they're able to open up and really talk with their pediatrician. They're able to say, well, what I should and should not do. So learning has taken place. Just the feedback from the kids and the parents to be able to leave your kids in a safe environment with educators, with physicians, with trained nurses and everything. It was just one big, beautiful collaboration. And we want to continue on and on and on and on.
That's really exciting. So you might have said it, but what are the age ranges and how many kids again?
Okay, so we had over the course of the week, about 20 kids, and the age ranges, the youngest as young as 15, and then the oldest as old as 17. Mm-hmm. So we had the full gamut, the full age. Yes.
Yeah. So you mentioned psychological, and let's talk more about that because I'm sure it does have an impact on you. What are some of the things that you're seeing from children who have diabetes? What sort of thoughts and behaviors are you noticing?
Mm-hmm. Right. So like any chronic illness, there's a lot of psychological aspect to it. And in order to effectively manage and treat a chronic illness, you have to deal with the psychological aspect. So some of the things that we see from children in particular with type 1 diabetes are situations with unacceptance, not accepting their diagnosis. They tend to be very anxious because so many things can possibly go wrong. They can go too low and then they can faint or have a seizure. They can go too high and go into diabetic ketoacidosis and end up in the hospital. So there's a lot of things that will cause them to be anxious. So some of them live in a state of continuous anxiety. Then is the aspect of depression, because they're not like the other kids and not like their friends. They have this added burden of having to manage this disease. So a lot of these kids also experience depression. And then there's anger as well, like why me? That type of situation. And then all of that also affects how they function in general, and also how they are compliant with taking their medications and whatnot. So all of these things intertwine and interplay with each other. And so going after the psychological aspect is just, or sometimes even more important than the medication itself.
Mm-hmm. So how can you help with that? I know being around others who are going through the same thing can help often, but what other tools are there?
So other tools is we often refer them for psychological support. So either privately through a psychiatrist or psychologist, and also through our community counseling, the CCAC. So most of our kids at one point would have gotten some type of psychological support at diagnosis or even further down in diagnosis, so that they can have the psychological aspect of managing this chronic disease. And go ahead.
Yes, and to add to it, to have a support group, a monthly support group, the third Saturday in every month from 3 to 5 p.m., where parents can be together in a group support, and the children also will be in another room with support. So we want to continue to support, teach coping skills and how to go on day by day. So we have the parent support group that goes on, and they've been meeting for a while now. So we're just going to continue on at the Diabetic Association at St. Gregory Anglican Church.
And to add, kids with diabetes, it gives you such a interesting point of view, because me as an adult living with diabetes, my situation can be so individual, so personal to me. But when you have a child that's involved, then all the other aspects of the support groups really makes a difference. Now you have to understand how their school life and their teachers come into play, or their guidance counselor. You have to understand how their parents come into play on a day-to-day basis. You have to understand how their doctors, take part in that. And so the dynamics of how they live with diabetes, it's so much more inclusive for the people that are around them versus someone that's an adult. I think one of the big goals that we all would have as caregivers and people living with diabetes is to have access to technology, medicine, and the specialty doctors that are going to help us live with diabetes a whole lot better. Dr. Chisholm and Nurse Ramin definitely share in that same goal, and it would be interesting to know the various children. Some may have came into the camp knowing or not knowing about the various types of technology, but how do you think technology would make a difference in their lives?
Sorry, that was a question for me. How would technology make a difference?
Yes, in their lives.
Oh, yes. Technology, these kids are so fortunate right now. The technology that's available right now is amazing. So in terms of what we have now compared to 20 years ago, we have continuous glucose monitors. So instead of having to prick the finger to get the blood to test the glucose, they can be attached to a device that will continuously monitor, so they don't have to prick, and they can see their numbers directly on their phone. This helps with compliance, because some of them, they just hate pricking, so they never prick and they never know what their sugar levels are. And so they can be completely out of control or very low and don't know just because they decide not to prick. But these devices would help so much in allowing them to continuously monitor their glucose. And then the other big thing now are the insulin pumps. So again, instead of sticking themselves to give themselves the insulin, again, these devices are attached to them and they can calculate how much insulin they need with every meal. And also it gives them a continuous supply of background insulin. So there's no more pricking, no more sticking. Okay. So this device has been dubbed the artificial pancreas because it comes very close to mimicking the natural pancreas. But of course, this technology is extremely expensive, and for a lot of our children, they would not have access just due to lack of funds. But hopefully, if persons on the line that are listening, persons in government and the NIB drug plan and things like that, maybe some of these things can be introduced so that our kids here would have more access to these technologies, so that they can have a better quality of life living with diabetes.
All right. So, Nurse Ramming, you are the president of the Bahamas Diabetic Association, and I know it's hard when we ask about numbers, but do we have any idea how many children are dealing with type 1 diabetes here? And Dr. Chisholm, you might know better as well. But any idea what we're dealing with?
Okay, so I'll take that question. So we are estimating that in the Bahamas that we have probably about over 100, probably 100 to 150 children with type 1 diabetes.
Wow. And how early are they being diagnosed with this?
So the youngest that we've seen diagnosed was at 1 year of age.
Wow. That's rough. That's rough. And
Yes.
And again, for those who might not understand the difference between type 1 and type 2, if you could briefly, I know Dario talks about it often, but just briefly for those who don't know the difference here, this is not lifestyle. This is
Right.
This is something else.
Right. So again, the majority, about 90% of the kids who have diabetes are type 1. So when you see a child with diabetes, it's likely going to be type 1. And the big difference between type 1 and type 2, like you said, is type 2 is usually secondary to lifestyle. Type 1 is not at all. So with type 1, it's considered an autoimmune disease. That means that your own immune system sees your pancreas, which is the organ responsible for producing insulin, it sees it as a foreign entity. So it actually slowly destroys the pancreas. And so the pancreas loses its ability to produce insulin. And so eventually the child would not be able to produce any insulin at all in their body. So they have a lifelong dependency of getting insulin via injection. With type 2, what happens is the body produces insulin, but over a period of time, the body becomes insensitive to the insulin, so doesn't respond to the insulin as well. And it's not only lifestyle with type 2, is a very strong genetic component as well. So even persons who may live a relatively healthy lifestyle, because of their strong genetics of developing type 2, may develop type 2 even with a healthy lifestyle. Right. So it shouldn't be misconceived that everybody who has type 2 is because of poor lifestyle.
Okay, interesting. Wow. So again, this is part of our disability awareness series. And for some, they're probably going to be wondering, why are we considering diabetes a disability? Let's talk more about that. There can be serious consequences and side effects from diabetes. Is that right? And Dario, very much aware of this. But let's talk more about that and what and why it's important to have diabetes in check.
Right. So that was a question for me or Dario?
Everybody, I guess. Dario, you want to go first?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can give my perspective. Sorry, Dr. Chisholm Smith. But diabetes for me, and it actually is a recognized disability in the Bahamas and actually worldwide. Diabetes does lead to some very serious complications if not managed well. And for a lot of us, having diabetes for more than 10 years, that you do have some level of complications. How severe it really does depend on your ability to manage it well. For me, I want to say 16 years or so into diabetes, I was plagued, I suffered from diabetic retinopathy. And over the last 4 years, I've transitioned to blindness, which is definitely life changing. It for me, I think the strongest among us has to carry the biggest burdens. And so, with me being given this burden, I think it's on me to really speak to it as often as I can to help others avoid and to learn to live better with diabetes. And that's really and truly my main goal. Have people live a better quality of life with diabetes. Dr. Chisholm, on you.
Right. So just to piggyback on what Dario said, and the special a thing about type 1 diabetes and disability is that, like Dario mentioned, after about 10 years of having diabetes in general, whether it's type 1 or type 2, after about 10 years of uncontrolled diabetes, you're going to start seeing the complications, such as blindness, such as poor circulation that leads to amputation, such as kidney damage that leads to kidney failure and eventually having to go on dialysis. The thing that's particularly important about type 1 is that these children are developing it at such a young age. They develop diabetes at such a young age. So 10 years of diagnosis for them leads them into their late teens and 20s and maybe 30s. Okay. So, unlike the adults who may have developed diabetes in their 40s and then start seeing the complications in their 50s, these children are seeing what their adult counterparts are seeing closer to their 20s or 30s when they're supposed to be in the peak of their life, going to college, getting a job, getting married, starting a family. They're dealing with things like blindness and amputation and dialysis if they are uncontrolled. Okay. So that's why it is particularly important. Everybody with diabetes needs to be under control, but particularly important that these little ones, these young children, are under control because they are going to see the complications much earlier in their life if they are not controlled.
Well, okay. We've got some calls coming in. People have questions. Let's see if we can take this call, and you can call as well. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Caller, are you there?
Hey, morning, Dwight. And you guess how you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Since your guest read about diabetes, right? I have a serious love for cake. I could go in the food store and buy, them one of them whole cake with the food sauce off. I could buy one of them and put the whole icing on it and eat that in 1 to 2 days. How dangerous is my love for cake is at age 48? Oh. I would like to relating to diabetes, or I'll still be in the clear.
Okay, so
lifestyle plays a very serious role in our health, and I've often heard that your food is your medicine, and so sometimes we want to take very special care of the types of things that we're consuming. It puts you at a higher risk when you're eating those types of food that's high in sugars or carbohydrates, and it doesn't really leave your body with much defenses. Dr. Chisholm Smith or Nurse Ramin can better speak to it, but personally, that type of lifestyle can definitely lead you to having challenges with certain diseases, especially those like diabetes.
Right. And I agree. I think that type of lifestyle is not just particular to you, sir. It's pervasive through our country. That's why our chronic non-communicable diseases are so high. We, as a culture, we consume a lot of carbs. And so when I say carbs, carbohydrates, that's the cake, the sugar, the flour, the rice. It's just too much. So I think a key message that the Bahamas needs to take home is, number one, we need to do some lifestyle changes, okay? We see our family members suffering from this disease. We see our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles getting amputations, going on dialysis, going blind, and we continue to live in this lifestyle and not make any changes. Number two, we need to make sure that we're going for our annual physical exams to know where we are, to know if we are at risk. So there is a blood test called the A1C that's a part of your annual physical exam that will tell you what your risk is of either develop whether or not you're pre-diabetic and you have a risk of developing diabetes, or whether you're already diabetic, because a lot of people are walking around and they have no clue that they're actually diabetic until they get the complications.
Wow.
So, so we just need to live healthier lifestyles, know where we are in terms of all of the CNCDs, and make sure that we do those lifestyle changes. And Nurse Rami?
Yes. So lifestyle changes is a must for everyone. However, I want to go back to what Bahamas Diabetic Association is all about, and we're about educating, counseling, supporting, and advocating for persons with diabetes, those who are at risk for diabetes, those who have diabetes. And with our kids, I want to go back. We have to tap into our children, and so that they can grow up to be healthier. And with knowledge, with support, we can help them to better manage their diabetes. And that's what we're all about. And this campus is all about to be of that support for our children, to know how much kids we have, and to be able to advocate for more. Because when you see they're over 18, they no longer, their medication is not free in our country. Those persons between 18 and 60, they have to pay. If you're not working for government, you got to pay for your medication, and it's very expensive. So we be able to educate persons on how to better manage their diabetes, and their numbers can go down, A1C can be better, and they can live a more productive, healthy, productive life. That's what we're all about. So together, we must see how we can improve the health of our nation and health of our children with diabetes and all those living with it. That's what we're all about.
And how can people be a part of the Bahamas Diabetic Association? What do they need to do?
Just become a member. I mean, our Facebook page, the new Bahamas Diabetes Association on Facebook. Our office is at St. Gregory's Anglican Church on Carmichael Road, but you can even call us 828-91 4194. Sorry, 828-4194.
Okay.
Or visit our Facebook. Call Dr. Chisholm. Our email address is thebda2020@gmail.com. That's thebda2020@gmail.com.
Yeah. How many members do you have right now?
We have roughly about 80 members. We want to be the place where the government can find statistics. We want every diabetic in our country, not only Nassau in the Bahamas, the whole Bahamas. That's where the government will be able to lobby and know how much money they need to invest into the Diabetic Association, so that we can put on more wellness programs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to get back to the camp in just a bit. Well, we have a couple more calls. I want to get through these quickly. Caller, good morning. Are you there? Good morning. Hi, caller. Good morning. You're live on the air. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi.
Good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
My heart goes out, and thanks for the doctors for reminding me and the public that the type 1 is an autoimmune disease. I have a science outlook book that's about 15 years or more. And so in that book, they had spoken about stem cells as relates to the type 1 diabetes, seeing that the children are so young. The stem cell research shows that they can actually implant healthy cells, maybe from family members, isolate cells into the pancreas, and then they can regrow into healthy cells, given that it's an autoimmune disease. And I know that Dr. Chisholm should know about this, but I'm saying, it's pretty old. The book is pretty old, and I'm hearing about transplants and stem cells as it relates to other diseases, and what role does the All Association play, given that it would be financially burdensome, right? And then another question is, given the fact that what role does visceral fat play in the predisposition to developing diabetes and insulin resistance, given the fact that there's research showing that the amount of fat around the cells impedes the insulin uptake? I'll just hang up and listen.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting questions.
Okay, yes, interesting question. Thank you, caller, for your question. So in regards to the stem cell is currently being, stem cell implants are currently under research. There has been no approved studies that show that it can be used effectively as yet, but scientists are definitely studying stem cell research in regards to replacing the pancreas that has been destroyed. And yes, in regards to the second question, in terms of visceral fat, we know that the fat content of the body itself plays a vital role in glucose management and how effective insulin works. So that's why lifestyle changes, diet low in fat, high in fiber, and exercise and lean body weight or lean body reduces the chance of persons developing diabetes.
What? So today is the last day of the Kids with Diabetes summer camp. What is happening today? How are the kids managing with this final few hours?
Okay, so we have a lot of fun planned for them. So for the morning, we go through our regular devotions. There will be a short educational session this morning. But after the educational session, we have fun and games. We have a little mini Olympics. We have trivia games. We'll be taking pictures. They'll get to eat some fun food, some pizza, but under guidance of the medical staff. So we ensure that they're taking their insulin and the correct dose of insulin so that they don't, their sugars don't go elevated. But they're going to have a lot of fun. There'll be music and dancing. And also we'll be giving them awards for their participation and what they've learned and everything. So it's going to be a fun time today.
Wow. To add, Dwight, just being around the camp, to speak to the benefits of it, the routine that they go through when prepping to go into a meal, the amount of time they check their blood sugars, the record keeping, just learning to understand the individual aspect of diabetes for each of those children is invaluable. And I think it's something that if we can get to a level of sponsorship, it's something that every child with diabetes or every person with diabetes can really benefit from. And so programs like this, very honorable, but it should be something that the Minister of Health should definitely be looking into to really put a good driving force behind it, especially if we can get things like continuous glucose monitoring added to the National Health Insurance or the National Prescription Drug Plan, if only for the children with diabetes for now, and then seeing how we can grow it. For those that are out there who want to get some more information on what continuous glucose monitoring is, they can definitely reach out to me for some help and guidance. I have a few people that connected to me by way of diabetes, but more so through my organization A1C, who have been dabbling in getting into technology, and it's been a life changer. It's been a definite game changer in helping them to, stop suffering from diabetes and learning to live with it. So people can reach out to me. You can get me directly on WhatsApp, 803-9254, and I'll be happy to help them learn to live with their diabetes.
Excellent. And I know you said this was the first one, Dr. Chisholm Smith, so this is going to be an annual event?
Oh, yes. This is the beginning of great things. We just need sponsorship. So we want to thank all of our great sponsors. I mean, it wasn't for them, we couldn't have done it. I must say that the Ministry of Healthy Bahamas Coalition did sponsor a great deal of this for this event to go on. We have so many sponsors that we appreciate them all. And we're hoping that not 1 week isn't enough. the children looking forward. I mean, we wish we could have done it longer. So going forward, we really hope and pray that we can have a month camp.
Yeah, that sounds like like the plan right there. I know you'd asked if
Because it's such a relief for the parents to be able to know that qualified, trained people are here caring for their children. They're in a safe environment. So we really need this. They
Yeah.
cannot go to any and every camp. But
Absolutely. I got your message too late about asking if you wanted to talk to the kids. We definitely would love to talk to the kids, but maybe we can do that maybe before the next camp or even before. Maybe Dario, we can arrange for us to talk with kids with diabetes at some point. But keep up the wonderful work that you're doing. This is such a great start, and to get that awareness out, wonderful stuff. Nurse Lindiana Raming with the Bahamas Diabetic Association and pediatrician Dr. Terlika Chisholm-Smith. Thank you so much for talking with us this morning. Get back to the camp. Have fun on this final day. It's the Kids with Diabetes Summer Camp. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
And of course, Dario Charlton, our partner here with this series from BAPV. Always a pleasure having you with us, my friend.
Same here, man.
Looking forward to talking with you again next month.
Have a great day.
Okay. We're going to take a break, folks, and be back with our final few minutes of Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Bahamas, pineapple from Lucas, Bahamas, mango from Inagua, Bahamas, that island side of Raven's Grey, Bahamas, happy independence, Bahamas, happy anniversary, Bahamas, happy independence, Bahamas.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Get ready for the summer solstice show, Roman Hero Intro. RB Sound presents Round 5. Saturday, July 5th, Lord Drummer the Royal Recreational Ground. Gates open 5 p.m., $20 entry. Ladies free before 8 p.m. Short Abaco College DJ. The beer drinkers versus rum drinkers competition. Stand up for me. Sound Fest. July 5th, Abaco. To my collect. Drink responsibly.
Only one item? Are you tired of limited choices? I'll have the one item on the menu, thank you. Wow! So many choices. Why settle for less when you deserve more? When it comes to the ways you pay, the more, the better. With a variety of payment options available, you can enjoy the freedom to choose what works best for you. Choose freedom. Choose flexibility. Choose from the full menu of payment options. The future of pay is digital.
With RBC, your idea of loving every journey happens now. Free up cash with affordable auto financing from RBC. With competitive rates and no bank fees, it's the perfect time to make every journey something special. Apply now to pre-qualify in 60 seconds at rbc.com/auto loan to shop with confidence. Conditions apply. RBC, your idea of loving your journey happens here.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, Executive Director of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, Dr. Leah Roll, telling Guardian Business that the Chamber has been working with the Ministry of Energy and Transport and BPL, Bahamas Power and Light, to help businesses soften the impact of rising electricity rates. Roll saying that they've seen the public discourse and fielded calls from members concerning the fuel surcharge increases and lack of standardized usage periods that have resulted in an increase in electricity bills, saying that any cost that detract from the bottom line of a business would have a negative impact on operations. Roll saying, quote, "We have enjoyed excellent working relationships with the ministry and have already reached out to see where there are opportunities for relief for our members and by extension the wider business community. At present, they have agreed to free energy audits for select chamber businesses. We will provide them the names. Beyond that, there is the rate reduction program forthcoming, but no other substantive measures agreed to just yet." You can read more about how this is going in today's Guardian Business section. Economic Affairs Minister Michael Alquita says the intensifying climate crisis is exacerbating the vulnerabilities of small states like the Bahamas. He's calling for predictable, accessible, and scaled-up climate financing to support vulnerable states that find themselves on the front lines of climate disruption. Alquita's in a speech at the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development in Seville, Spain, saying that as the country considers the pressing challenges before us, he's highlighting two important priorities: deepening climate vulnerabilities and the urgent need to operationalize the multidimensional vulnerability index, saying the intensifying climate crisis continues to exacerbate the vulnerabilities. You can read more on that in today's Guardian Business section. And Suncash will be on every island of the Bahamas with a population greater than 50 people when it completes the installation of its equipment on Acklands in the coming weeks. One of the company's principals and director, Sean Smith, explained that Suncash now has 85,000 accounts and is helping to solve the problem of financial inclusion on the family islands. Overseas, Nissan is recalling more than 480,000 of its vehicles across the U.S. and Canada due to potential manufacturing defects that could cause engine failure. The recall covers certain Nissan Rogues between 2021 and 2024 model years and 2019 and 2020 Altimas, as well as a number of 2019 to 2022 Infiniti QX50s and 2022 Infiniti QX55s sold under the automaker's luxury brand Infiniti. That's according to documents published by the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration this week. Some of those vehicles are definitely here in the Bahamas. The vehicles impacted carry specific VC turbo engines that may have manufacturing defects in their bearings. This may cause engine damage and possibly lead to engine failure while driving. Engine bearing failures are not typically instantaneous and tend to progress over time, according to NHTSA. That means affected drivers may see multiple warning signs to look out for, including abnormal noises or a malfunction indicator lights. World shares fell mainly so far today, even as U.S. stocks climbed further into record heights as the clock ticks on U.S. President Donald Trump's July 9th tariff deadline. In early trading in Europe, Germany's DAX shed 0.8% to 23,730, while the CAC 40 in Paris fell 1.1% and Britain's FTSE 100 was down 0.4%. The futures for S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrial Average were both 0.5% lower. In Asia, Japan's Nikkei 225 recovered early losses, gaining 0.1%, while South Korea's Kospi index fell 2%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng lost 0.6%, while the Shanghai Composite Index added 0.3%. On Thursday, after reports showed a U.S. job market stronger than Wall Street expected, the S&P 500 rose 0.8% and set an all-time high for the fourth time in 5 days. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added 344 points, or 0.8%, and the NASDAQ Composite gained 1%. Many of Trump's stiff proposed taxes on imports are currently on pause, but they're scheduled to kick in next week unless Trump reaches deals with other countries to lower them. Elsewhere Friday, U.S. benchmark crude was down 45 cents to $66.55 per barrel. Brent crude, the international standard, shed 53 cents to $68.27 per barrel. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Thursday, Commonwealth Brewery moving 2,000 shares, closing down 74 cents to $9.63. Vanguard moving 6,040, unchanged at $6.30. Fidelity Bank moving 1,765, down 1 cent to $17. J.S. Johnson moving 1,000, unchanged at $16.76. Consolidated Water up 7 cents, closing at $6.26. And Emira Incorporated up 6 cents, closing at $11.14. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,034.42, down 0.62. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
That's going to do it for us today. I want to thank everybody who was part of the show, all of my co-hosts and all of the guests for this week, my producers, everybody for listening. Thank you so much. We'll be back on Monday with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight's trying to have a great, safe weekend. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
Bahamas. Pineapple from Iluka, Bahamas. Flamingo from Inagua, Bahamas. That island started raking spray, Bahamas. Happy Independence, Bahamas. Happy anniversary, Bahamas. Happy Independence, Bahamas.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.